Sam, first home game in the books. Can you just give us your general thoughts on the team tonight?
Yeah, we got a lot of fight in the second half, and that's pretty great for us to see early on here. You know, we had probably a game and a half of, are we going to be competitive this season? And I'm glad our team showed up and gave us some really good energy and life. And this one sitting next to me fueled a lot of it. So that's why she's here with me. But yeah, that competitiveness we've been looking for in the last week and a half. You know, our team, I think, showed up differently in the second half. That was a big part of getting it to 7. I think we cut it to 7. And so just really proud of them for not giving in. And, you know, this very easily could have been a 30-point loss.
Yeah, so you said coming out at halftime, you guys came out a little bit quicker. What was the message at halftime?
It was just about, like, paying attention to details. Like, if you're a part of a 5 that doesn't do what they're supposed to do, like, you're coming out. You're coming out. And sometimes I think playing time is the best teacher. And maybe that worked, maybe it didn't. I think a lot of people, we said this in the locker room, would say, like, it was the zone. It was the zone, but, like, it wasn't anything about the zone. It was about our energy, our different attention to focus on keeping someone in front of us, and just running more offense. That second half, that was the most offense we've ran all year, you know, and so I think they're understanding now there's some sharing involved that's really, really important to our success on the offensive end. So we got to do that some more. You know, we finished the game with 7 assists. Like, we're not a 7-assist team. We're a 17-assist team, so we just have to be better at sharing the basketball.
You talked about the energy that Des brought
Yeah.
in the game tonight. What was it specifically that she brought?
It's just a different fight, a different talking. You know, you hear her screaming about ball screens, screaming about shooters, screaming about cutters. You know, all of those little things, you know, people don't think they're a big deal, but, like, it fuels a defensive side of the basketball, you know. And for us, it was just about her showing that life, and then it becomes contagious. Another player next to her does it, another player next to her does it, another player next to her does it. So having more and more of that in the locker room and daily at practice, like, that's what we need. We need a full 16 to be like that.
And Des, first 2 games in the Cougar uniform for the season, first one at home tonight. What do you think of the team's performance tonight?
I feel like we're starting to figure it out. It's early in the season, so I feel like we're going to be pretty good once we get it together.
Sam, do you feel like the first half, the issues that you saw there, was that similar to what you saw against SIUE, or were there different things that you were kind of identifying?
Yeah, I think some similar, and it was a little higher level of energy, but not to the level that it needed to be. You know, like, you could tell our team was a lot more focused tonight, but it was also maybe like a misdirected focus. You know, like, yeah, I'm running a little harder, but is it as hard as I can run? Is it as, you know, as intense and as competitive as I can be? And then it turned on in the second half, and, like, you could see the difference. Like, there's a difference in a Julu Tata sprinting the floor in the second half than a Julu Tata sprinting the floor in the first half. You know, so I would say it's a lot of the same things that we saw against St. Louis, but today was a little more focus on, hey, this has to be higher level. Everything we do has to be higher level, and taking care of the basketball. I mean, clearly that really becomes the game. You look at everything. You look at rebounds. You look at shooting. You look at, you know, forced turnovers. For us, like, it's us taking care of the basketball. We have to be better. We have to have more attention to detail on passes. I bet 6 or 8 of those were just deflected passes that we just need to focus on and be more detailed.
I mean, what are you looking for as a response before you guys go to Purdue?
More second halves like that. Yeah, I mean, like, I can't say that enough. Like, in practice every day, like, are we practicing like that second half? Are we practicing like Eastern Michigan's on the other side of the basketball? And it's not just my teammate that's on the other side of the basketball. I'm practicing that intensely, that I have to get a stop on number 11 from Eastern Michigan. I got to get a stop on Purdue's best scorer. Like, we need to practice like that every day. And then that translates to game. We can expect to practice the way we practice and then turn it on come game time. Like, that's not the way the world works. We have to practice that way. So we are talking about practice.
Last thing for me, just curious how you think about your team's depth and, you know, those line changes that we saw in both games.
Yeah.
Do you want to have that much depth, or is that more of a response to this isn't quite good enough?
A little bit of both. I would say we would love to have that much depth. You know, you have to find the right combinations if you're going to play that way, and you're going to do that. That might be something we stay with for a little bit, just because of the energy that it brought for us, I felt. You know, but we'd probably like to get to a place of, like, getting the right combinations in together. But at this point, it's about competing. And if 5 in, 5 out helps you compete, then we're going to go 5 in, 5 out.